Hey guys, Metal Driver here, bringing you a tour of my toy room. This was a video that was requested by Leon Shoyinka a while back. I said I would consider doing it, or I was thinking about doing it. Actually, I think I did one a couple of years ago, so I figured I think now is a good time to do videos like this. Now, I did try recording this a week or two ago, and I did that on my phone, and the video didn't process properly on my PC, so I ended up deleting that video, so I'm just going to redo it again. So I'm going to show you a quick tour. It's not a very large room. I don't have much on display just for the room that I have here, but I'll show you what I've got. Excuse the mess. I did clean this up when I originally did my tour video, and then it ended up being messy again because every time I open a new figure, this place ends up being messy. So if you see some figures or boxes lying on the ground, that's why. Alright, so first, let's go ahead and move over to my arena display. So as you can see here, this is my Extreme Sets 3.0. No, I am not being paid to advertise that. That is just what I'm using. I've got a bunch of figures here as well in the background. So, Arena 3.0 comes with those cardboard cutouts of people. Then I also add some basic figures and some elites to add more depth. I was thinking about maybe adding a couple more rows in the back. Maybe some risers. So yeah, so this is my arena setup. Got my ring here. And these are pretty much the three lights that I use for my pictures. So if you ever look at my photography on Instagram, or if you wait till the end of my videos. So there we have the raw cardboard arena pop-up. That came out a couple years ago. It was very inexpensive, about 13 bucks. Now on the aftermarket, it's like $100. Same thing with the Smackdown one. I think that was made by Wicked Cool Toys. And they're also making the AEW one, which is on pre-order. So I highly suggest pre-ordering that on Ringside, because once that sells out, I guarantee that's going to go up in price. And plus, this looks really cool, especially with an arena display. Anyways, going back to the ring, wanted to show off my rock here. So I took this shot from my Basic Series 125 Rock review. So you can see he's doing the rock bottom to Vince McMahon, and he's in position holding him up in the air. So the way I get this posed, I use flight stands like you see right there, and then I just edit them out in Adobe Photoshop. So I know other photographers, they use strings or wires. I don't really have that set up here, so I just use a flight stand, and that usually works for me, especially since I've got a pretty good Photoshop program on my PC, so I just use that. So that's my arena setup. So looking over here, we've got this shelf of Mortal Kombat figures, Storm Collectibles. If you've been subscribed to my channel or watching me since the beginning, you might remember I used to review Mortal Kombat and DC McFarlane figures. Don't really have the time to do that anymore. Maybe in the future, if people are interested in a Patreon, I can do extra videos like that on there. But for now, I just do wrestling on my channel. I've got two tote bins here, mostly just Mezco and NECA figures, so nothing wrestling related. Then looking over here, this is my recording setup. I've got two studio lights here, and then two more right here. And here. So that's what I use. I turn off all the other lights during my recordings, and then I record on this big table with the Backstage Extreme Sets set here. As you can see, I've got my rock collection out on the table. So this was left over from, again, my 125 review, which was the last review I did. So these aren't all my rock figures. These are just the Attitude Era ones. So any of the modern rocks I have put away. So these are all my Attitude Era ones. You've got Legend Series 3 right there. Very similar to that Smackdown 69 rock. You've got here the Rock & Sock 2-pack one. That Best of the Attitude Era with the Rock & Sock 2-pack head sculpt. That same Rock & Sock figure with the Series 125 head sculpt. And then this rock here. This one's actually the Elite 69 Smackdown Edition rock body. So he's got the interchangeable hands. I've got the basic 100 head sculpt on here, and you might notice his trunks, they're a bit different. So let's come grab this over here. So yeah, so this one has the blue lining or font around the logo. So this is what he used at WrestleMania 15, not 14. WrestleMania 15 against Stone Cold Steve Austin. So that is a custom decal that I applied. So the decal comes from Curb Stomp City decals. So I did that for this rock because I really wanted that trunk design. And then lo and behold, they have one up on ringside. So it was Mattel that showed that off a few weekends ago, showing off their new figure. So it had the rock with that blue trunk design, but he had this head sculpt, so not really keen on that, but that's okay. I'll just swap and put that head on there. So I'm excited for that rock figure. And then here we have Ultimate Edition Rock, the rock that everyone apparently loves. I see so many people always saying how this is one of their favorite rocks. If you watched my review on that, I was a bit torn on this figure. I still am. It is really good. It's just the head sculpts that I have the issue with. Not the design, just the paint apps. A lot of QC issues. Again, if you remember, I bought about 8 of these, and almost every single one of the 3 heads in each 8 of the sets that I bought had bad QC. But despite that, it is a pretty good looking figure. Alright, moving over here. So this would be my display shelf. Actually, these are my display shelves. So I just have some of the play sets up here and the extra rings that I have. So you've got the modern Smackdown cardboard pop-up, the Attitude Era Jax ones, which loved when Jax used to do this all the time. Wish Mattel would do more of those arena entrances. They've done a few, but not very many. Had some Batmobiles. And then look at this one. You've got the Smackdown ring, my old school Golden Era, New Generation ring, AEW ring, Nitro ring. Then I've got a Ruthless Aggression ring here. And then these ropes, they're very loose. So they have lost some of their elasticity. Is that the word? I don't know. They're not as tight as they used to be. So I bought some ropes from a wrestling toy company. Don't remember the name. I think it was Wrestling Figure Toys or Wrestling Toy Company, something. It's based out in Florida. They have a website. They sell a lot of those Migos and those Ring of Honor figures that you see. So that's where I got my ropes. They were very inexpensive. You could also get them on Amazon. So if you ever need replacement ropes, you can do that. Especially since I remember a lot of people were saying that the AEW ropes weren't as tight as they used to be. So you can buy some black ones. These are actually made for the Jax rings, but they also fit on the AEW rings. And looking over here, I've got this tote bin, so this is where I keep all my loose wrestling figures. I don't have them on display because I don't really have much room. Maybe here I could. But for now, I have them all in bags. So I try to categorize them by the waves and series that they come in. Sometimes the bags are just based on the wrestler. So here we've got 90s Undertaker, a bunch of purple and gray gloves. So yeah, so those are all my loose wrestling figures. Got a few more down here. Got another ring there, and see something right there. Let me see if I can make my way. Oh, let's pull this out. So here is my Replica Winged Eagle Championship Belt. So this is an awesome piece that I have. It was made by a third party. It's not an official WWE one, because you can see here, it's got the WWF logo, not the WWE one. So, really cool. I love having this. I'd like to eventually get a few more replica belts, like the Attitude Era belt, the big gold belt, and of course the AEW Championship belt. Alright. We're almost done. Moving over, we've got a bunch of boxed figures that I haven't opened yet. A ton of my Amazon exclusive Ultimate Edition rocks. No, I am not selling these, and no, I am not giving them away. These are all for me. And then, finally, in the closet, I have a bunch of other stuff. Here's a Jax Ruthless Aggression Raw entrance stage. And also my Attitude Era one is up there. Got a bunch of empty boxes up there. Except for that Batcave one that's actually not empty. That's got the Batcave in there. So if any of you collected Kenner Batman figures, that's a really cool set to have. Nice piece. And then the rest of my stuff are some mint on card stuff. Now I don't like to consider myself a mint on card collector, despite the fact that I actually do have a few mint figures. Mostly they're ringside exclusives or ones that I really like that I know if I don't get a second one I'll eventually regret it, because it's happened many times where a figure spikes up in price after a while, especially with the Ultimate Editions. So I've got a box Triple H here. I know that one's expensive. Which one's this? That's Demon Finn Balor. I think that's expensive as well. So I highly recommend getting more than one of the Ultimate Edition figures, because they always jump up in price. That Rock one, probably the most expensive one. So yeah, so a bunch of boxes, some empty, some actually unopened. So that was pretty much it. Nothing fancy, nothing great. This is where I do my photography, my recording, and everything. So hopefully I can get some more reviews out. I know it's been a bit slow. Some of the current waves haven't shipped yet from Ringside, although I do have this right here, Bobby Lashley, so maybe I'll review that next. And then if anyone's interested, I can finally review Scott Hall, because my friend Luke finally gave it to me. I traded one of my extra Kevin Ashes for this, so if you're interested, maybe I'll review this as well, but I think I'll definitely review Bobby Lashley next. Alright, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching The Room. I appreciate it. Go ahead, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.